Hey guys, THUNDERSTUD here, and today we are doing a Mayakashi revisit because shiranui are just scattered all across the ban list now, so we're looking at all sorts of different ways to play them. You saw me, before the ban list was even live, do some shiranui with just an insane amount of back row. Today, we're mixing it with Mayakashi, tons of other support. Shiranui is a very deep archetype, that's why they're hard to really get rid of. This is another like hybrid archetype little card. It's Ghost meets Girl. You've probably seen it before. Your opponent controls a monster. Discard one zombie monster. Every monster in the deck is a zombie. And special summon a Shiranui monster with a different name from your deck or graveyard. Cannot special summon except for zombies. Everything's a zombie. And you can only use it once per turn. It is a quick effect. So it's actually a pretty good Shiranui card. And it has both Squire and our girl Daki, a graceful Mayakashi. She's part of our combo with Yuki Musumi, the ice Mayakashi. They start at a level 3 synchro and they climb the ladder all the way to 9, and you're still left with a Daki on the field to use for something like Ballista Squad or for Winter. What does Winter do? It's a pretty, I don't want to say complicated, but it's doing a lot. So it'll decrease your opponent's monsters by 100 for each Mayakashi, different Mayakashi in your graveyard. Usually you're not going to use it for that, because you will have sent it to the graveyard with one Mayakashi monster you control to draw one card. Then once it's in the graveyard, you banish this card and one zombie monster, target a Mayakashi in your graveyard, special summon it, and you have tons of Mayakashi in your graveyard, because all the synchro ladder we're climbing are all Mayakashi. And you gotta really use that graveyard resource. So of course Spectral Sword uses that. When you have the 5 synchro and a Spectral Sword in there, you can make your Squire Saga. Works out really well. Squire Saga can banish synchros from the graveyard to gain further effects, usually to destroy a face-up monster. Works out very well. And yeah, you just resummon your others. Crazy. Yuki generally helps you get your Spectral Sword into the graveyard. When you special summon her, you get to throw a monster from your deck to the graveyard. Works out pretty well. We're still using one Karma Cut. Just 2 of the special supports. Our 2 limits are Solitaire and Spirit Master. I really like Spirit Master in this deck because it just gives him more options with things like Samurai, so we don't have to just use him for his own effect. And yeah, I mean, this just pumps out damage like crazy. Usually people would want to run a little more back row, and you totally can, but generally this just makes sure you virtually can't break with this deck, the way it's set up. But compensation, I'm also using compensation. You take 1,000, throw a card to the graveyard, and gain 300. Generally, like, all these cards have something to do in the graveyard, so it works out pretty. Even some spells when you use Winter. So very good stuff. Very consistent. Starts off well. Just pumps out synchro monsters. It is disruptible. It is beatable because you're not using 12 trap cards like other Shiranui versions. So it's trap card meta. That would work out better. But it's still really cool. Ways to check out how to play Shiranui post ban list. So I hope you guys enjoy, and thanks for watching. Alright, here we are facing a Leo. Go in second. Using a Power Tool Dragon mat there, using Grit. We got a Karma Cut, Daki, Winter. He passes, so we're going second. We're going to normal summon our Spirit Master, bring out our Spectral Sword, set our Karma Cut, go to Samurai Saga. We're going to use Winter, because we'll eventually have a Mayakashi in the graveyard with the Karma Cut. And we hit him for 2,500. I actually don't use Karma Cut this duel, but because we're fighting Metaphys, so you don't want to banish Metaphys monsters. That's what they want. Nephthys banishes it or sends itself back to the deck. He reveals Metaphys Dimension. Still has a Tyrant Dragon to bring out that Daedalus he just searched with that Nephthys. Does exactly that. banishes my Samurai Saga, which is going to lower Aloof Lupine to very low, because we have Daki and Mayakashi returns. It's going to bring me my Yuki. Now, instead of just bringing out the Yuki, I could have Karma Cut, banished that monster, then brought out the Yuki from the graveyard. So we totally could have done that. Yuki mills a Spectral Sword to the grave. Start the Synchro Ladder. All the while, we're getting more Mayakashi in the graveyard. This is lowering his attack by 100 for each Mayakashi in the graveyard, getting as far as 800 down. Works out pretty well, considering he only has 1500 life points left. So we're swinging for lethal, but he has a Kuriboh in hand, so it's not lethal. We're left with the Daedalus. Daedalus is going to destroy our girl Daki. That's going to trigger compensation now. Manifest Dimension banishes our level 9, and we got to start all over. We get a Ballista Squad, but we're going to have plays. So he's going to Dimension out our Winter. Compensation throws away a Yuki. Or we're going to Spectral Sword, banish the level 5 Synchro. That's a level 7 Synchro, Squire Saga. Lets him bring out a monster with Manifest Dimension, where we banish our Spirit Master that destroys the spell, and the monster as we swing for lethal. Great stuff, guys. Alright, here we are facing a Zane. Going first. He's trying to rank up, but will not. We have a Spectral Sword, we have a Ghost Meets Girl, we have Mayakashi Returns. It's going to give us a Yuki. Now with Winter, you can special summon Yuki. Yuki just needs a Mayakashi card, doesn't have to be a monster. So we have a Mayakashi card on the field, able to throw out a Yuki. Yuki's able to mill Daki. That way we can start the ladder with the Spectral Sword and finish it with Yuki. So we go in, there's 5. I'm saying Yuki, finish it with Daki. There we go, we're at 7. Daki keeps coming back. I didn't know Yoko was graceful also. Why is everyone so graceful with the Mayakashi? They're like dancing. Anyway, we used our Winter to mill our Daki and draw 1 card. We drew into another Winter, which is pretty cool because it does lower attack even more with that Daki in the graveyard. But gets Cosmic Cyclone. Then we're looking at a Veer, 2 back row, so we're going to start with the graveyard plays into our Squire Saga. Squire Saga banishes Daki, that lets us destroy a back row and gain attack. We do hit the overflow, he didn't want to use it. Winter banishes Yuki, that special summons Tengu. Tengu destroys a spell card when he's summoned, but we didn't need it. And we were 3 Synchro monsters out immediately and swinging for way more than lethal. Great stuff, guys. Alright, here we are versus Cowboy Colin. Go in second. So we have a Yuki, we have a Mayakashi Returns. So with the Mayakashi Return, we can get a Daki out. Here we're fighting a Dark Magician who used Ancient Rules into a Timeus for turn 1 Dark Cavalry. Not a big problem, it would stop our Ballista Squad. We top deck a Solitaire though. Not going to use Solitaire right now, I think we might though. So we're going to use Ghost Meets Girl, throw away our Yuki, bring out our Samurai. Now we can normal summon Daki. Now special summon the Yuki we just threw away. Very good use. Mill a Spirit Master. Start the chain. So we go at 3. Here comes Daki. Go to 5. Here comes Daki. So graceful. Go to 7. She's still going. Now we're at 9. And here she goes for 1 more. Now we're going to swing with Samurai. Samurai's going to banish Spirit Master. That's going to target Dark Cavalry. Obviously he can negate the target, but he cannot negate Shiranui Samurai's banish effect. So we may lose 1,000 and trigger our compensation, but the monster's banished. We're able to hit him within 100 life points of losing the duel. He's also in a pure top deck mode in a Dark Magician deck. So that's really not going to get him very far. Great stuff, guys. Alright, here we are facing a Dark Signer, Colin Kessler, going first. Evil white hair versus evil white hair. So we have a spectral sword. We have our Ghost Meets Girl. We're going to normal summon our Spirit Master, bring out our spectral sword, synchro into Samurai Saga, set our Ghost Meets Girl. It is a quick play. So he does have a card, a monster now. We special summon Solitaire. Now we only have one more spectral sword. I want to do more synchros, but we pull the spectral sword, so now Solitaire has nothing to really bring out, which means we got to do a different play. So we go into the Shogun Saga with the normal summon spectral sword, and I go for it, guys. We have the 500 Solitaire. Had we just brought out the Samurai, it would have been a 2400 with removal, but we were going to do a synchro play, then we drew into the spectral sword, but we still go for it with the Solitaire, and luckily do we find a 0 defense monster and hit him for the 5.5k lethal. Great stuff, guys. Alright, here we are facing a Dark Signer, Carly Carmine, going second, going for a rank up in a different language. That's the best way to rank up. So we're starting with the Belisa squad. We also have a Spirit Master, but we have a Ghost Meets Girl, so if our opponent could just get a monster, we use our Ghost Meets Girl. Here, we're going to use Mayakashi Return to add Daki to our hand. That way we can normal summon the Daki, special summon the Yuki, and throw a monster to our graveyard. So we're going to do exactly that. Here, he's going to Rebirth of Parshath, our Yuki, so we're not going to be able to start any synchro plays, but that's going to give him a monster, making our Ghost Meets Girl live. So now we can throw away our Spirit Master, bring out our Samurai, get use out of that graveyard even without a synchro play, destroy him with the Spirit Master after he's banished by Samurai, bumping Samurai up to 2400 and hitting this boy for lethal after he loses 1000 for that counter trap. So counter traps are getting hot, guys. We're just looking at more ways to play Shiranui. I don't think this is going to take over as the best because back card meta is just too big, just too good. People are just going to run 11, 10 trap cards and then a few Shiranui cards, I'm sure, when they're trying to play Shiranui. But Mayakashi, they just really fill up the graveyard with resources. So if there were newer ways to take advantage of that, I could see them having other uses. Until then, we'll keep revisiting, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching.